I played the part of Philip Pirrip, better known to the world as Pip, who is the main character and narrator of the story. The story starts when Pip is 6 years old, so I don't appear until later in the series. One of the good things about filming the book in this way is that we can produce something that's quite faithful to the original book, which was published in a serial format. Having said that, there have been some excellent film adaptations. There's David Lean's 1946 version, and Ethan Hawke and Gwyneth Paltrow did a version in the 90s. I don't know who directed that.
Alfonso Cuarón.
Right, I didn't know that.
So my character is Estella, and apart from being very beautiful and rich, she is also cold and cruel, especially to Pip.
I'm passionately in love with her.
But I warn him that I will never marry him. I have no heart. Normally heroines are too boring and perfect to play, so it's nice to get to play a character who has no heart.
But I don't give up. I know that one day she'll marry me.
I live with Miss Havisham, who is completely responsible for my bad character.
I was a little shocked when they asked me to play the part. She's an old eccentric woman, which I'm not. Old, I mean. But it's amazing what you can do with a little makeup. She's one of Dickens' greatest characters. I live in a rundown mansion called Satis House, where my fiancé abandoned me just minutes before our wedding years ago. Nothing has been touched since that day. All the clocks are stopped at 20 to 9, the wedding cake is still on the table, and I wander around the house in a ridiculous wedding dress, seeking revenge.
Miss Havisham doesn't like men very much, which explains why she brought me up to be so cruel to them. She wants to take her revenge through me.
She's all right, though, deep down. Miss Havisham, I mean.
Do you think so?
I think there's a lot of Dickens in Great Expectations. At the time that he wrote it, his marriage had failed, and he was worried about his children. He probably based the character of Pip on himself, and my character is probably based on Dickens' own father. I play the part of Magwitch. You can feel his presence throughout the story. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin the story for anyone who hasn't already seen it, but suffice to say that his story is key to what happens to Pip.
I've played English parts before. I have a very good voice coach who has helped me enormously. And Dickens wrote Great Expectations in 1860, so a lot of the language is quite challenging, but I like a challenge.
It's an old story, but its themes are as current as ever. Ambition, guilt,
Revenge.
Crime.
loyalty,
Love.
class.
And growing up with great expectations.